Hey there, you guys, it's Irene Lyon here. Welcome to this channel, welcome to this video, and welcome to the world of healing trauma, nervous system health, and all things neuroplasticity. Today I want to get into a topic. It's often a question, a comment that we get, my team and I, in our various social media groups. It goes something like this. How long will it take to heal my trauma? How long will it take to heal my nervous system? How long will it take to get regulated again? And by regulated, I mean going from a dysregulated nervous system to a regulated nervous system. And this is a big topic and a big question. And here's what's important to first understand. We need to ask a different question. And the question is, what is the nervous system and what is healing trauma and what is neuroplasticity? And for those of you that have been here with me for many years, thank you. You will know that there is not an expiration date. There isn't a start and a finish. This work is lifelong. It is a lifestyle. Now I'm going to parallel this to a story. I used to work in fitness and in nutrition and health in my 20s and early 30s. And people would come to the gym or get consultation from me early in the year. Good old New Year's resolutions. And they would be all gung-ho and excited and wanting to improve their health and make a change. And what often occurs is they would have a big influx of enthusiasm, but then as the results don't come as quickly as they think they should, they start to fall off, they lose interest, commitment kind of dies, and then they're back into their old habits. Now, there's a problem with this model of self-help and improving one's self, bettering ourselves. We look at this from this situation of if I start really strong and I'm very, very dedicated, change will happen fast. And the thing is with the nervous system, sometimes we don't want it to change fast. It's the same with eating habits and lifestyle changes. If we try to change too quick, it is, first of all, very foreign to us and our routines and our behaviors, the way we live our lives, even the people in our lives aren't used to that change. And so the forces that pull us back and the forces that create resistance and make us stop and make us hate ourselves because we've failed, they win. And I mean, let's face it, we have been plagued by a industry, health, fitness, self-help. Just go to the magazine rack at any grocery store or drugstore and actually look at the headlines. 5 ways to do this fast, 10 weeks to better this, how to improve your sex life in these 2 simple steps. We all know that that stuff doesn't work. We might gain some insight into some of the practices, but if we say to ourselves, okay, I'm going to follow this and within 5 weeks, I'm going to have rock hard abs and we don't get it, we feel ashamed. We feel like there's something wrong with us. So to go back to this question that we get asked a lot, how long does it take to heal the nervous system? How long will it take me to heal my traumas? We have to ask a different question, as I said, and that is, what do we need to look at that needs to be shifted in your system, in your capacity, in your ability to deal with stress, in your ability to sense yourself and be more embodied? One of the pure reasons we trap trauma in our somatic self, in our memory banks of our body, is at some point in our life, usually when we were little, we did not have the capacity, the wherewithal, or the support from our parental familial structures to be with difficult emotions, to be with these feelings of fear and helplessness. Often it was our primary caregivers who instilled the fear and helplessness. And so we're in this kind of bind because that and those who should be caring for us and teaching us self-love and regulation and self-soothing didn't give it to us. So you see how far back this story goes. It's very deep, it's very real, and in order to shift that script and change that narrative in your biology, there needs to be this different perspective that sees this world of healing the nervous system as lifestyle, lifelong, and I always likened it to learning a new language. Whenever you are learning a new language, even your own English language, maybe you are constantly practicing, you're constantly learning, you're learning new words, or if it's a foreign language, you don't just figure it out in 12 weeks, right? It takes months and years, and it takes different people that you talk to. It takes going to that country and being immersed in it and being put on the spot under high stress, pressure conditions. So if we come back to our body, let's just say you are someone who knows you have got a lot of trapped survival stress. I talk about this in other videos. I will post some of those below. If you know you've had a lot of adversity, maybe there's chronic medical conditions that are coming up, maybe there's mental health troubles that are plaguing you, or maybe it's all of the above. Maybe it's relational, maybe it's parenting is difficult. All these things that point to dysregulation within the nervous system, we need to look at that nervous system as this language. We have to learn about it. Number one, really learn about it. Get to know the different branches. I'll post a video on the different branches of the nervous system in the show more section of this video. We need to learn what biological embodiment is, right? Trauma, dysregulation takes us out of our body. And to get back in it, again, it's not this, I'm going to work on this for 1 month. And then if I don't feel any differences, I'm going to stop. One of the mistakes I see my clients and students make is they stop too soon, right? They stop before they see this miraculous shift. And some people do have miraculous shifts. Everyone is different. But it's like that individual who, let's just say, has maybe a lot of body fat to lose. In that first 6 weeks, they might not see a difference. They might not see any difference, even though they've been doing the practices and eating differently and getting more exercise and getting more social support, all things that we know contribute to really successful fat loss. But they might not see a difference, and then they stop, or they might, fall off the wagon, as we say, and, go off their diet, go off their different behavior changes. And then they say, oh, I screwed up, I'm going to stop. When that occurs, that is not present moment that's dictating that. That's our past history and how we've been in many ways maybe shamed, maybe ridiculed for not being good enough, for not doing good enough. We maybe were given conditional love. I've done another vlog on that as well. I'll post that below. So again, when we are changing anything that's deep in our system, deep in our cells, deep in our DNA. For most of us, this stuff is in our DNA, how we trap and strain and keep stress in our systems. It can't just be a 1 month affair or a 1 year affair. It is a lifestyle, and we might not see the changes right away. What I know from watching thousands of my students and clients do this work year in, year out, myself included, my friends included, who are my colleagues, is if we keep at it little by little, bit by bit, day by day, stressors by stressors, when those new stresses come into your life today and forward, because they will, be with them differently. Be with them in a more embodied way. Pause, stop, feel, notice. Get out of the head, get out of that mind that wants to pull you back into the I can't, this is impossible. Because it might feel impossible sometimes, but that's the mind. So it's like, how can you say to yourself, I have the thought that this is never going to change. I have the thought that this will always feel this way, right? As opposed to this is always going to be this way. You see that difference? So if you can preface any difficulties around this concept of this is not changing, this is not going where I want it to go, put into that, preface it with, I have the thought that. Because if we do that, we start to realize that these monkey mind brain things that we come up with that stop us from changing this into lifestyle, they need to be paused, looked at, and then we have to intellectually say, this is the thought that nothing is changing, when actually I am doing a lot of stuff to be embodied, to learn, right? And it's not going to be perfect. It's going to get messy sometimes. It might feel gross and icky. We trap trauma for a reason. We trap our stress and our fears for a reason. It's because when we had it in the first place, we did not have the skills, the wherewithal, maybe the emotional maturity, maybe the support wasn't around us. Often this stuff happens when we're really young. We just couldn't deal with it, so we trap it inside, right? So as we go on this journey of nervous system healing, trauma healing, changing our wirings in our entire nervous system, it's not just the brain, it's the entire stress physiology, we are creating a new language to live by. We are creating a new map with how to live, and that map changes. If we are in a different environmental situation, we might need to reroute some things differently. If we're in a very safe space, we might have more capacity to feel the difficult stuff. And we have to shift and change, and in some ways be chameleon-like so that we can adapt to what is in front of us. So to go back again to review that question that I often get, how long will this take? How long will it take to heal my trauma? This is an infinite practice. Myself, I've been doing this work for quite a few years, almost 20 now, 20 years. There's never ending elements to feel and revise and notice and uncover. And it doesn't mean that they get worse or harder necessarily. They might be more intense, but the reason the integration and the release of old trapped memories and traumas get maybe bigger is because our capacity grows, right? So if our capacity has become really big, we are expert at being with the difficult body sensations. The memories don't trigger us anymore, but we can see them like they're right there, but be with them in the present moment. When we have that capacity, that gives our body system, our nervous system, the green light to actually release the darkest stuff, right? And also, let's maybe say our past generational stuff, maybe our past lives stuff. And so there's a layering. It never ends. There isn't a quick fix. It also can be very exciting and very liberating when we start to see healing our system individually and collectively in this long view point of view, right? There is this ability to see long term, but to work short term with the little things that occur day by day. Again, I'm going to review this part. Don't quit if you don't see things shifting immediately. If your mind is in the right place, if you're not letting your thoughts get in the way, if you're not keeping yourself in victim mode and mentality, doesn't mean that we weren't victimized, but we don't want to stay in victim mode. So if we can line all these things up, get the right education on board, which is what I teach, get the right practices on board, again, what I teach, find a good practitioner in the somatic healing arts that can help you be with the body and grow your capacity, this will become a lifestyle, and that question, how long will this take, actually starts to dissolve because it doesn't matter. All right. I hope you found this useful. Take very good care, and we will see you next time.